Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. It's review day! Today I'm reviewing the Powerex 8-cell battery charger. Is this the best battery charger for AA's and AAA's on the market? Let's find out. Is the Powerex MH-C801D, I think it is. Yeah, I'm looking at the spec sheet here, right here. The best single cell charger, bulk volume charger on the market? I happen to think so. Let me tell you why that is. But first, please, if you could, just scroll down real quick and hit the subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, that helps support this channel and keep this going so I can bring you more information about useful things, take you to locations that you might not have traveled to before, provide inspiration, and give you an overview of what the world is like beyond yours. So this Powerex charger, I've actually used this for quite a few years, and it just occurred to me, I really should tell people about it. Now, why should you be concerned about AA and AAA batteries? I mean, Aaron, aren't tons of things, aren't they all wireless or all, USB chargeable and all that? Well, I would say yes. However, there's a lot of stuff that isn't. For instance, let me show you here. My audio pack here. Yep. Sennheiser microphone audio pack. The receiver that is on the camera. My camera flashes, my Nikon SB800s, the SB900s, the Canon, the Nikon, all of those things require AA batteries, or some require AAA. Now, you might think, that's super wasteful because, not chargeables, but like buying alkalines. I generally believe that buying alkalines is mind-numbingly wasteful. And one of the reasons is that once you use them, they're done, you throw them in the trash. I guess they can be recycled, however, not that great. But if you have bags and bags of batteries, let me show you here. Yeah, if you've got bags of batteries like this, where I've got the in-a-loop batteries and I have some older Panasonic nickel metal hydrides, what are you going to do? So one of the things is that these batteries, when they come from the manufacturer, let's see, there you go, they have this tiny little charger that requires, get this, that requires 2 cells to always be in the charger at all times in order to work. Now, they call these batteries cells. Why they do, it's just an electrical engineering term, don't worry about it, but this is a single battery here, and they call them a cell. So one of the bummers about the recharge systems that come with the in-a-loops and any of the other rechargeable nickel metal hydrides is that they always require 2 to be in there, and most chargers come with 4 slots, so you can charge up to 4 batteries. That all sounds impressive. However, when you've got bags and bags of batteries, you've just been out filming, photographing, maybe you had your kids' toys, your grill sensor. My grill sensor actually requires AA and AAA batteries, and it's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden you start seeing the multiplying power of this stuff, and it's a big deal, and you start to think, man, if I'm out photographing, shooting, doing whatever that eats up a lot of batteries, and I plug that charger in, how long do those little chargers take? They take like up to 8 hours. That's a really long time. The ones that come with in-a-loop take about 4 hours. They're not very intelligent chargers. They turn on, they charge for a while, and then they stop charging. Some of them are better than others. The ones that come with the Sanyo batteries are actually pretty good. But the problem is, what happens when you have bags of these things and you don't want to be charging, like waking up at midnight to switch the batteries out so you're ready for the next day of shooting, right? Yeah, I know, I've had to do that, and that really stinks. So I surfed around and I looked for a long time to find a good, high volume, fast battery charger. And I eventually settled on this unit here, the Powerex, and it's let me get the number right, MH-C801. Now, why did I choose this charger over any of the other chargers? Well, really, I read quite a few reviews, and my experience was that, you know, almost everything out there is cheap junk, and it took a long time to find out, but I read on B&H's website, B&H Photography out of New York, that this is one of the most popular ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this unit works, why I like it, and why you might consider it as a bulk battery charger. Because one of the huge advantages, or multiple huge advantages of this charger, is that one, this can charge these batteries each in about 1 hour. It's actually really, really fast. It doesn't overheat them. It doesn't torch them. The 15-minute chargers, the super fast chargers that have a little fan cooling system on, oh, this is great. I do not recommend them because batteries, when they get really, really warm and you cycle them time and time again, they tend to lose their life. Now, mind you, and I'll tell you about these features in a minute about soft cycle and recycled charging, is that I've owned these Inaloops for, oh boy, I think I bought my first ones, oh man, 9 or 10 years ago, and they're still going strong. I just had to buy a couple packs more of these things. I think it was 2018, so a couple years ago now, because I just needed more batteries. And what I do now is I actually write the date on the batteries when I buy them. I write the date on the batteries, and that way I know, hey, when I bought them, and to see how long it takes for them to die. I have yet to have any of my Inaloop batteries die at all. Oh, no, I take that back. Out of all the time I've owned them, I've only had like one cell die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this charger works, you know, why you might like it. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that the charger comes with a big old honkin' power strip or a power brick. And the reason is this is a, input output 18 volts at 2000 milliamps and 20 volts at 10 or 100 milliamps. This thing has to deliver a lot of power because in order to charge up to 8 batteries in 1 hour takes a lot of juice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this thing works. I've got a close-up camera here going. First, one of the questions is, I travel a lot, and sometimes I need my bulk battery charger, and weight is a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here how much this charger weighs. I'll put that in front of the camera. So the charger plus the brick, and this is all you need, and I always label my power blocks. See, 8 battery charger there, simply because I have a lot of charging blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this all on the scale and try and get that on there with the cord and everything to get you a real evaluation of how much this charger weighs. And it is 1 pound and 3 ounces. So, not too bad. I mean, the actual charger unit only weighs 7 ounces, but that means that the battery pack, or the charging like brick, weighs 11 ounces. Also notice that the one they ship it with, if you accidentally damage the cord, you can actually replace it. It's got a very standard connector on there. Here, I'll show that down here. Yeah, there you go. It's got a very standard connector on it, which is very nice. And so that's pretty handy. The Maha icon here, this particular charging brick is specifically designed for this unit because it has a special connector here. I'll show you that guy. And that special connector is not interchangeable with anything else. So when you look at the back of the unit, that is a big deal. You can't just go buy a different brick. So it behooves you to be careful. So let's show you how this thing works. So what you do is you simply, and I've got my handy dandy extension cord here, is you plug it in and you plug in the back of the cable here, and you'll immediately see the LCD blink. It'll cycle through all the different charging indicators and the unit is ready to go. Now, mind you that you don't want to leave this charging in the sun or anything like that. It's actually pretty bad news. And you'll see the green glowing LED, and that means this thing's ready to rock. So what you do is you take your huge grip of batteries and you start jamming in, and what I do is the instructions say you're supposed to start from left to right for best operation. Now, why is that? I don't know. That's just how they designed it. But starting in the left is important for the soft charging. So one of the complaints that people have on Amazon, and by the way, I'll put a link to this charger to Amazon below so you can click it and buy it. If you do any photography, flash, or digital video work, or anything that requires AA's, this is definitely the charger to get. And you'll start loading this up. But one of the main complaints people have is the LCD is hard to read. And if you're in a dark room, the contrast is not that great on the LCD. It's like, oh, it's kind of a pain in the backside. So I'll pull this in so you can see it on the camera there. But on the camera, no problem. So in a dark room, the LCD is very difficult to read. But in a bright room like this, I never have trouble reading the LCD. And so that's not a big deal. But you can see here that all of my batteries are discharged, or not hugely discharged. If they're seriously discharged, there won't even be a single blank cell there. But when I pull one of these guys out, you'll see that the charging indicator goes out, and as soon as I plug it back in, the unit will detect that the battery has been inserted or removed, measure the voltage, and start charging it right away. So that is pretty handy. The huge benefit of this unit is that each cell is individually chargeable, and you get an indication when charging is done. So what I do is, as I'm going along and I look over the charger and see, oh hey, 2 of those cells or batteries are done, I just pluck them out, stuff new batteries, or not new, but other dead batteries into those slots, and it gets rocking. So it's actually pretty handy where I can cycle through my batteries much faster and get them charged. So not only does this unit charge in 1 hour, but it also allows me to cycle through and get the batteries in that the moment another unit is charged. That is really handy, and it is a huge time saver. Now, you'll notice on this unit it has a couple of buttons. One is for soft charging that takes 2 hours, and another is for recycling, where the unit will discharge the batteries, or you'll charge them up, discharge them, and recharge them. And theoretically, that is supposed to condition the batteries to make their lives longer. I'm going to tell you right now, I have never ever done that. And the reason why is because there's no need to. I'm using the batteries, I'm discharging them fully, I'm putting them in here. But I have read people that they didn't have the good inner loops, they had some other cheaper batteries or knockoffs, and it can actually cause a problem. The soft charging allows you to charge the battery in 2 hours instead of 1. Now, I have to ask you, how do you know that your battery needs to be soft charged? And how do you know that your battery needs to be recycled or refreshed? You don't. The soft charging, I would say, is a total fallacy, because these batteries get pretty warm. There's no fan on this thing, so it doesn't overheat the batteries. Don't get the chargers that have a fan, because theoretically that's great, but really you have a good chance of damaging your batteries. And hey, check it out. You'll see, this battery is already indicating, the very far right one is already indicating that it is 2/3 charged, which is pretty cool. Now, how do you know that your batteries need to be refreshed? That means that they aren't holding a charge as long as they used to. The theory is that the Sanyo inner loops do not have memory and they don't need to be cycled, because you'll notice nowhere in the Sanyo information packs or anything, and I'll put links, if I didn't say it below, I'll put links to the inner loop batteries. They are the best rechargeable AA's on the market. But there is no real information in the Sanyo data sheet that I remember seeing the last time I looked that you need to do this. So I don't recommend using the refresh at all, because according to the data sheet, it can take up to, let's see, conditioning mode can require up to 14 hours to charge, discharge, and recharge your batteries. I say that's like total junk. I don't even bother. I'm going to show you in here because it's going to take longer than the video, but the different charging indications where you want to do conditioning. Let's see, where the heck is that? Conditioning. And if you want to do soft charging, right there. And then I'm going to show you the different charging indicators where there's a done indicator, because obviously I'm not going to have time to entirely watch this in the video. But you'll notice on the left-hand side of this one battery, it is actually done. So it actually recharged really quick. It must not have been discharged too much. So I can literally pull that single battery out, put it to the side, grab another battery that has been discharged because I did a big video and photo session, pluck that guy in there, and away we go. It is super, super slick. Now, you might ask, Aaron, is it possible to insert the batteries in the wrong direction? And no, because the design of this unit, you'll see there that there are little blockades. I will try and put this thing in backwards, and it doesn't work. You can put the battery in backwards mechanically, but it does not make electrical contact, so it is essentially impossible to damage your batteries. Also, you'll see in here that there is a AAA charging link where I've only have a couple AAA chargeables. It's not that big a deal to me, but if you do, this is really nice. You can charge AA or AAA batteries in here, and the unit detects it, but you can see that there's the AA pin there, but that AAA pin there, and you just latch that battery in there and it will charge up both AA's and AAA's. So in review, the Powerex, what was it, MH-C801D, I think I'd remember that now, has the ability to charge AA and AAA batteries, the best of which I believe are the inner loop batteries. I'll put a link to those below, and I'll also put a link to my inner loop review as well for you to watch. But this charger has been solid and reliable. It's worked for years for me. If it died, I would cry a moment, and then I would immediately go to my link and buy a new one, simply because it's the best on the market that I've ever found. And I've tried a lot of chargers, so highly recommend this unit. Check it out. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I am a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please like and comment on my video. Hit the subscribe button if you would. That helps support my channel. Scroll to the bottom on your phone, add a comment. That'd really help me out. And please also support my channel on PayPal and Venmo. Thank you very much for watching.